Well, hello, my beautiful people. My name is Gant, and welcome back to Lucid9. Last episode, Ruri got kidnapped. So he got kidnapped by the killer, man. And I'm like, oh no. Yama finds out. Then he has to figure out who's the killer. We gathered so many information. Who's the killer? And after a long time of him basically talking to himself, he figured out it was Mr. Ryota, who's been killing people. And now we are here, wondering what we gotta do. So, let us continue. Ah, someone's calling me. Maybe I'll pick it up. And on the other end, I could hear the cold, dead voice of Ruri's parents, saying quietly that Ruri has been found, but as a bleeding, mutilated lump of flesh and bone. Maybe I'll drop my phone, and this time, it'll shatter completely, crushed to pieces like the fragments of sanity stringing me together. Or maybe it's a trace called from Lemonskate, a bid from the police that would be stupid enough to pick up. Unknown. The number unknown. The risk high. If I answer it, and it is from the police, I'll be caught in the blink of an eye. Ruri will be dead. Mr. Ryota will run free. But if I don't, what then? I'll be left alone to fend for myself. And somehow, I have to extract Ruri safely and catch Mr. Ryota, and somehow stay alive. Is it even possible? Or do I need help, no matter how much I despise it? Oh, fuck. Fuck, do I answer it? I'm gonna answer it. Fuck it, right? If it's the cops, I get arrested, then we go back and we, you know what I mean? If this is the ending where, if I do get arrested and we get like a bad ending, then fuck it, right? We'll go back to this point and do this all over again. Fuck it. No, I have to pick this up. Facing Ryota by myself will only result in getting both Ruri and me killed. With shaky fingers, I answer the call. Hello?
Yama Ishimoto, I need you to listen carefully. This is my personal cell phone. It cannot be tracked. The number you have been contacting until now has been my work phone. I need you to hang up now.
Surely they'll track my number, narrowing down the district and block and even the last millimeter. But I only clutch the phone tighter. The walls that I've built up, struggling to keep a foothold of my emotions, are starting to crumble.
The police are in the midst of a manhunt for your person. They sincerely believe that you are the killer.
And you need me to turn myself in.
I need you to stay out of sight and give me time.
What? Is this some kind of next level bait? I don't understand.
Don't get caught, Ishimoto. Anytime you might give me is the time we have dedicated to catching the true killer.
But you said
you were the only suspect I could trust to avoid the police for the necessary amount of time.
I fall into silence at this. The magnitude of her statement only grows the more I ponder it. You saw me at the apartments, and you were warning me.
You hardly were inconspicuous. So, if you happen to possess any previous unknown information regarding the identity of the killer, now would be a wonderful time to state as such.
It could be a trap. It could still be a trap. But I don't think it is. The killer is Jiro Ryota, the dorm manager and counselor of the academy. Silence falls momentarily on the other end of the phone. I can practically see Segori's grip tighten.
What? How do you come to know to the fuck? I'm doing that again. What? How did you come to know this?
Shigori, did you get any recent disappearance reports?
3 actually.
I need help. Shigori, help. My voice cracks. I hate it. Hate feeling vulnerable. Hate feeling open. But I have no choice. I don't have a choice. Shigori falls silent for a long moment, and just when I begin to think that she's hung up on me, she speaks.
Will you live within the next 5 minutes?
Her voice is slow and steady, smooth, my phased nerves. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not injured.
Then, the urgency?
Ruri's disappeared.
I work to speak, but my throat's gone dry. After a moment of silence, Shigori continues. You presume she's with the killer? He must have taken her. I have no time to question you, Ishimoto, so I will ask you this and only this. Are you completely, absolutely certain that the culprit is Jiro Ryota? Yes. I say without hesitation. It appears to caught her off guard. Very well. I shall send a force to the academy under the reasons that you may be hiding there. We may be able to find where he's holding Rui. That's it? She just takes my word as law? Thanks. In the meantime, stay out of sight and out of mind. Do you understand? But Ryota would see the police coming. He wouldn't stand still. He would escape immediately after killing Rui. Actually, I'm planning on contacting him. For what purpose? I need to meet with him to buy some time. Otherwise, Shigori violently explodes into striking screams that I have never heard from her before. You gullible imbecile. You moronic excuse for a... What are you even thinking? I'm taken aback by her sudden flare of passion, but my surprise is quick and replaced by indignation? I can't read. You know I can't read. At least I'm telling you now, aren't I? Oh yes, when it was nearly too late, and I would have called a corpse, and I would have to call a corpse. Simply put, Ishimoto, you haven't told me anything. Why would you not speak to me if you knew the identity of the killer? A very bolt of anger laces through me. Why? Because I just figured it out. Because somehow, barely, at the end of my rope, I found something to cling on to. But I can't tell her that. If I say that I just figured it out, she might change her mind. She might need the reasoning. Who would trust a teenager who just figured out the supposed identity of a serial killer? I had a good reason for doing so. Oh good, do enlighten me. What? You can't just believe me? Need to throw some more tests? A little riddle run in District 6? Hell, was the investigation in the school just another goose chase? A funny little game to see how the kids at the academy dance. What are you saying, Ishimoto? You're right. I guess, even while I was figuring out who the killer was, I didn't call you. I didn't ask you for help. Because I knew what you would say. You'd poke holes at me. You would say that my reasoning didn't make any sense. You would need fucking, what's that word? Empirical evidence. I knew that you wouldn't have believed me. You've never even needed me as your assistant in the first place. Cold silence descends. I wouldn't have believed you? And then, something happens. Something that I would have thought to be impossible. Shigori's voice cracks. Sorry, it cracks. Hold on. But you didn't even try. I would have believed you. I would. If you had just trusted me. If you just... She falters for a moment, then seems to recover, her voice strengthening. Ishimoto, regardless of my previous intuitions, I need you to know something. I do not tolerate the idiocy of the average ingenuous dissonant, much less let them become my own personal assistant. You have repeatedly proved yourself through your irrational deductions, your level-headed procedures, and your propensity to attack problems from unusual angles. Your input is invaluable. Despite our clear disparity in experience, you have taught me several valuable lessons. Do you wish to know why I pulled your accomplices into the investigation rather than opting for a police unit? Simply put, my permission in the case was barred from the academy. All information I was given was second-handed and thus easily corruptible. However, I was impressed by how you and your accomplices worked wholeheartedly. Yama Ishimoto, I have faith in you. Her words pierced through me. I'm frozen to the ground in shock, wordlessly, opening and closing my mouth. Shigori believes in me? I don't even know how to react. But after that meeting with Mitsuki, you...
Fired you. That was for your own benefit, you imbecile. Or are your eyes too... Oh, never mind.
This familiar type of response wrings a chuckle out of me, but my mind is still racing. I have faith in you. Those simple little words. Words that tell me that I can do something. That acknowledge my efforts. That tells me it's okay. You'll do the right thing. In the distance, I catch the faint glimmer of an approaching subway, held by a distant echo on the announcer's voice. Sudden clarity breaks into my mind. It's as if every disjointed piece just fell into place. I know what to do. Thanks, Shigori. I get to my feet as the subway grinds to a halt before me, but Shigori's voice comes harshly into my earpiece.
Yama, listen carefully. We are en route, but there is a powerful force behind this case that remains very much hostile. It will take time to arrive. You understand this?
I do. I'll get you time.
I am extremely uneasy at the thought of knowingly sending a civilian into the I am extremely uneasy as the thought.
I am...
Okay, regain my composure. I am extremely uneasy at the thought of knowingly sending a civilian into the presence of a known serial killer. But if you honestly believe you can prevent a death tonight, I shall not stop you.
I think I can.
Oh, well, that sounds convincing.
I probably can.
I suppose that it's the best I can ask for. I would wish that you might wait until I could convey a firearm to you, but...
Not possible with the current time frame. I have to go now. Neither of us mentions that it would also be extremely illegal.
Understood. Best of luck, Ishimoto.
1 second. Stay on the call. Stay on call. I punch Ryota's contact and send the phone on speaker, waiting patiently. Shigori apparently understands. Not a word crosses her lips. Finally, a neutral tone indicates that Ryota's picked up.
Hello?
Hearing his voice makes me freeze. The voice that comforted me, guided me, made me laugh. In the end, it's left me just like everything else. I quickly shake myself, trying to master my words. He's an enemy now, a stranger. Feigning ignorance, maybe I can grab an advantage. Hey, Mr. Ryota?
Hey, kid.
That's when I realize that something is terribly wrong. It's some ungodly hour in the morning, and yet he picked up immediately, and he sounds wide awake. Almost as if he's been preparing for this moment. Mr. Ryota.
Say, you have great timing. I was wondering if we could meet up. I know that it's like some crazy hour or another, but I have something pretty important to tell you. It has to do with, you know, your lapses.
Is that really it? Is that why he's up? I can't bring myself to believe that. Mr. Ryota, I was just... But before I can add anything more, Mr. Ryota's phone buzzes angrily in the background. He pauses for a moment.
Sorry, kid. Just let me take this call real quick.
And he suddenly muted. Fingers shaking, I also unmute my end, switching to Shigori's call. I also mute my end, switching to Shigori's call.
Did you hear all of that? Quite clearly. Ishimoto, about the call Ryota just received, I am uneasy that it may perhaps...
But that's when I hear Mr. Ryota's voice and quickly switch back to his call and unmute. Thankfully, Shigori immediately falls silent. Mr. Ryota? Mr. Ryota, did you find anything about...
Nice try, you almost had me. Hang up the call with the police first, then we'll talk.
I almost dropped the phone. A bolt of panic laces straight into my chest. He knows. How could he?
Hurry up.
Oh, I gotta switch his voice. Shit.
Hurry up, boy.
No. You know what? I'm gonna do how I was doing his voice up until a certain point. Hurry up, boy. I don't have all day. I shakily mute and switch to the call. I expect Shigori to burst into anger, but she only seems resigned. It is as I surmised. A mole? That or... She throws off, as if the thought is too terrible to comprehend. Ishimoto, knowing this new risk, are you still determined to enter the school? I have to. I can't let Ruri go without a fight. I shall bring a unit. Give us as much time as you possibly can. I will. And Ishimoto, given the choice between a stupid option and a stupider option, which one would you pick? The less stupid one? Wrong. You must pick neither and wait. Please, Ishimoto. You wouldn't enter the lottery, nor borrow from a loan shark in order to buy a house. No. It is best to wait and save. Do you understand? What? Just remember this. She hangs up, leaving me alone in the subway. I switch back to Ryeto's call and unmute. He chuckles lightly. If you just asked the police for help, I wouldn't count on it. You don't know a thing, do you? I know you're the murderer. That's a pretty good start. Hey, murderer is such a harsh term. I like to call myself an artiste with the E. He chuckles again, but this time it comes with a pinch of shrillness that wasn't there before. My forebody only skyrockets. Just what kind of insanity has he been hiding? So, hung up the call, now what? Quite simple. The fun begins. Come to my Playboy. I've been setting the stage. This just confirms my fears. For some reason, Mr. Ryoto's been preparing to kill me. Maybe I'm the next one on his list. No, I can't let this shake me. I have to stay strong. Talk normally. You've done it before. Oh, the false bravado of a man in love. I know it well. Did I sound like that? I wonder. It's so terribly stupid. Are you going to answer my question, or are you going to wax more poetry? Poetry is by far the most interesting option, don't you think? Only for people with too much time on their hands. And that is the eternal problem, boy. For the both of us, we each have too much time on our hands. Far, far too much. Doesn't life just get so dull? Every hour passing drearily, like a never-ending group project where all you want to do is murder your classmates. That's what life is. How do you ease your boredom? I wonder. Television? Social media? No, you do neither. Sleep? Thanks, Shakespeare, but I think my life is my own business. Hon, I gotta fucking drink water for that fucking voice. Damn, it's been so long since I've done that voice. You'd think I would be doing warm-ups like, you know, on my spare times, like, to like, not fucking, like, hurt my throat when I do this. But no, I don't. I should start doing like better warm-ups. Like, you know, like when I wake up and shit. Not right now, like right before this I do warm-ups to like, you know, help me not fuck up my throat that much. And I'll do like a warm-up right after this. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to stripping that sense of righteous anger within you and replacing it with terror. I'm looking forward to you trying. Ha! I love the ones that fight back. It just makes their descent all the more satisfying. Before I can respond, he plows on, his voice gradually rising in a pinch. Now, let's set the stage, shall we? I thought you were taking care of that. Oh, don't worry. I'll be taking care of all of the props. Do you hear me, boy?
Don't bring any extra props.
The thought never crossed my mind.
Leave your phone and any police toy at the entrance. I'll see if you try to smuggle something into the theater, understand?
Is that it?
Not quite. Why are you so hasty to end the call? Am I boring you?
Sure, let's go with that.
Then, I'll get straight to the point.
There is a brief moment of silence, punctuated only by the faint tone of Ryota's punching numbers into his phone. Then I hear a voice.
Yama! Don't you dare do anything stupid!
Nothing hits me, but it's like all the breath has been sucked out of my lungs. Ruri?
Stay there! Don't come!
I wordlessly open my mouth, desperately searching for words. My mind only runs blanks.
I'm sure you're already aware of this, but right now, I am the master of Ruri's fate. So, you might want to stay on my good side. This is how it's going to happen. You come to the back of the school. You know, the garbage truck route. You're going to dump all of your toys. Then I'll let you in.
How? There's no entrance.
Why is it that Why is it that you all say the same thing? Boring. Well, there is a will, boy, and there's a way.
So, that's it then. Fuck, my fucking throat.
Well, actually, I feel I should tell you this, just out of the kindness of my heart. Ruri won't be there, for insurance purposes. I'm sure you understand.
My fingers clamp in a diff grip on my phone. What do you mean Ruri won't be there?
Hush, child. Why are you so impatient? Right now, Ruri's in the safe hands of a third party, so as long as you listen to my words.
Okay, I am jumping ahead because I feel like I know who the third party is. Just listen and shut up. There's a mole in the police fucking place, right? There's only one person who has information who doesn't have to be a police member. She tries to be all innocent and everything, but she has that dark side to her, that sinister side, that wants to humiliate people. And she knew about everything. She gave the information on the independent murderers. It's fucking Nasuki. Nasuka? I forgot her fucking name. Nasuki. It's totally her. It has to be her. She will be the only one with the information. Like, unless there's a police mole, and it's that fucking guy, you know, what's his name? The fucking guy that was talking with Shigori. Unless that was him, then it's gotta be Nasuki.
So, we meet up, have a little chat, and I let Ruri go. Everyone gets their happy ending, except the police, who, well, you know, they don't do anything anyway.
Oh, fuck, my fucking voice. Fuck, that shit hurts like a bitch.
A beautiful arrangement, no? Speak now and forever hold your peace.
I grind my teeth and force a long, shallow breath. If I go, I won't be able to see Ruri with my own eyes. She could be anywhere. Even when Shigori comes, we won't be able to find her. But am I really in a position to be making demands? Fuck. No. Can't accept those terms. No. Like, I don't see Ruri. Fuck, man. Do I just refuse it? Okay, I'm gonna refuse it because I honestly, cold-heartedly believe if I go there,
accept the terms, I die and Rui dies. No happy ending, no nothing. But if I refuse the terms, Rui die, I get sad, probably kill myself like Shoji, and we both die. Bad ending. There's two ways of seeing this, and I just gotta refuse the terms. If I get a bad ending, then fuck it. This video is gonna be like an hour long, I feel like it, because we're at the end, so I'm gonna refuse them. And if I get the bad ending, we'll come back here and accept the terms. No, if I can't see Rui, then this entire ordeal is pointless. I have to take this risk. You know me better than that, Ryota. I have to see Rui with my own two eyes. Who knows? You could be lying. You could kill her before I show up. I'm wounded. I'm wounded. Do you really think I do something so cliche? Well, I think you would be a serial killer. Well, I didn't think you would be a serial killer, but here we are. Forgive me for not taking chances. Fair enough, boy. I'll play along. She'll be here by the time you arrive. I'll even let you see her before you enter the school. That was very oddly agreeable of him. Enough to make me feel as if though I've walked straight into his setup. Den boy, is that all? Time passes ever on. Can I get anything more from him? Right now, the situation still seems grim. Okay, now I gotta accept these terms. Fuck, man. He already agrees that Ruby's gonna be there, right? He agrees already. If I reject him, he's gonna be like, you know what? Maybe I'll just let her die. 'Cause, fuck you. Fuck, man. Because we're at the end right now, so I have a cheeky feeling that I'm gonna click something and you're not gonna get a good ending. Cause that's what visual novels are. You get either a good or bad ending. Or whatever the fuck ending you want. Fuck. Fuck it. Accept the terms. Or reject them. Why would I reject them? Let me look back at this. She'll be there by the time you arrive. I can't even let you see her before you enter the school. Wait, hold on. That was very oddly agreeable of him. Even enough to make me feel as though I walked straight into his setup. Okay, based on that, I gotta reject them. Something's wrong. Something is very, very wrong. Reject terms. I would also like for Rui to be untied. So she can run away. As if you wouldn't be able to chase her down. Heh, playing hard to get, aren't we? Fine. Fuck. Fine. Because I'm so very magnanimous, I accept. Would your highness also like a pony? Any new terms stack the odds more in my favor, but I'm not currently in the position of power. If I push too hard, everything could go south. Accept the terms. That's it. Accept the terms. Like, he agrees for Rui to be untied. He's a fucking pendejo, okay? He's a fucking moron. Accept the terms. No, if I'm honest, there's not a whole lot more I can ask without making this request seems downright ridiculous to Ryota. Rui's going to be there. I'm going to see her. The police will know where I am. This is the most I can ask for. The back of the school, then. I'll give you 15 minutes. I'm coming from the subway station. Then you better run. Ta-ta. And that's the last thing he says before he hangs up. Almost blankly, I stand in the middle of the subway platform, phone swinging loosely from the edge of my fingers. Then, all of my muscles burst into action, and I shoot out of the subway, legs pounding the pavement as fast as I can make them. My lungs start to burn as the cold night air cuts into my throat like knives, but I'm forced to ignore it.
Stoplights in the cross sections warn me to stop, but when I see a gap between the incoming cars, I bolt across for my life. Engines roar by, and horns belt in full volume. I'm certain that cars rolling down the windows to call me crazy, scream that I'm an idiot, swear to call the police on me, but I don't care. They're coming back from a long work day, or from grabbing fast food around the corner, or picking up their kids from martial arts or cram school. Meanwhile, there's a girl heads in the dark room, alone, her only company a crazed murderer who takes pleasure in in the afflictions of a long, intense agony. And yeah, on they go, with fast food and martial arts and cram school. The world blurs by in a haze of bright, fluorescent colors until I finally grind to a halt at the entrance of the school. My heart feels as if it's slamming into my ribs, bruising itself until it bleeds. I'm forced to stop and lean against the gate, gulping desperately for air. 13 minutes. I only have 2 left. I press my sleeve against the sweat, coating my brow, allowing myself time for one deep breath. Then I spin around the perimeter of the school, stopping by a shady back area where all the good kids stay clear of. Grind up cigarette butts lie scattered on the floor. As I squint, I catch the light gleam of empty needles in the grass. Well, maybe the school was a little less tidy than I first thought. As I near the trash bin, I notice a long, indicative human-shaped figure leaning against a solid wall. Fine weather we're having. I expected the voice, but I didn't expect the in-sync reaction that comes with it. My breath catches and my throat clogs, sending tears straight into my eyes, no matter how hard I try to keep them down. He looks like a psychotic asshole. And Mr. Ryota steps in the moonlight, lips twisted into a lopsided grin. Out for a little night exercise? I try to speak, but no sound passes my lips. I know what he's doing. I know what this is. A power play. I'm sweaty, tired, disheveled, and likely very sleep deprived. Forcing me to run here only gave him more of an advantage. And there's nothing I can do about it. Now, removal of gadgets if you may. Wordlessly, I reach into my pocket until I remember. You said you'd show me Rui first. He only chuckles at this. Not even a chuckle of amusement. It almost sounds giddy. Good. You already learned how to play the game. He turns and points silently at the second floor of the classroom building. Most of it is shrouded in darkness, but just by the window, I catch a glint of... You saw, didn't you? So, phone. All I saw was orange hair. It could have been a dupe. Sighing heavily, Ryota reaches for his phone and taps the screen a few times. He only has to wait a few seconds. Rui, your boyfriend is having some trust issues. Be a dear and look out the window. Oh shit, I didn't notice his eyes. Like when I was looking at him, he had his eyes closed when you first saw him. But look at his fucking eyes. Like, I'm tired of your bullshit, Yama. I just want you to scream. I stare at the building, forcing myself not to blink, half convinced that if I look away for a split second, I'll miss everything. The head of orange by the window turns slowly, revealing a distant pale face, muddled slightly by the disoriented of the window. But without a doubt, it's Rui. I sigh breathlessly, instinctively, something that I can't stop in time. Ryota smiles triumphantly. Phone! Yeah, look, his eyes are closed. His eyes are open, he looks fucking creepy. I silently hand him my phone. Turn out your pockets, pants and jacket. I do so. You're walking evenly, so I doubt you're carrying anything in your shoes or underwear. Come in, we've wasted enough time. How? We're at the back of the... But then he touches the wall, and a part of it slides away, and suddenly there's a keypad. He jabs a sequence of 6
6 digits into the keypad. And the wall slides open. It's nothing like one of those mysterious puzzles of an ancient architecture in video games, where the whole wall ripples apart while the ground shakes and dust falls from the ceiling, and a magical passage is revealed. Simply put, a door-shaped part of the wall swings open as if it was just a door painted to look like a wall. Except the texture is somehow exactly the same. It's quiet, it's understated, and I would have never guessed it in a million years that it was here. There. Ryota clocks my shock and only grins in response. Let me tell you something, kid. The janitor has to get in and out somehow to dump his trash. Now, smooth little school like this, they love to give the illusion that they're perfectly protected, impenetrable walls in every direction, the only gate supervised by a card reader and cameras. But functionally speaking, you think that the janitor is going to walk out of the gates all the way around the school, dump, and go back all around and through the gates? Of course not. The sheer nonsense. Sheer nonsense? Something on that level of something on the level of presuming that the janitor took everything to the land of missing socks. I knew that there had to be another way in. And, well, it took some searching, but that's how I found this. Why hadn't I thought of something like that? Why did it have to be Ryota? If you're trying to brag, don't expect a red carpet award from me. What I'm trying to tell you, kid, is that even the richest school in all of Isamu has a crappy security system. I, one man, outsmarted it, just like this. To be fair, they probably weren't expecting a serial killer to be in their facility. Ha! Sloppy work on their part. Let's go. The night isn't getting any younger, and nor am I. He turns and slides into the corridor, moving so fluidly that his step stays perfectly even on the ground. I then notice that his careful steps renders him virtually silent, like a predator hunting down a piece of injured prey. It's a simple matter of exiting the building, turning the corner, and entering the classroom complex. He leads me up the stairs and to the second floor. The floor where I saw Rui. He pulls open the door, lifting an eyebrow at me. I only stare inside the dim gloom, suddenly filled with dread. Everything could be a trap. Rui could have been moved. Shigori could be lying. There are so many moving components to this encounter, so many potential things that could go completely wrong. I turn my gaze to Ryota, who only jerks his head at the door in a distinctly more impatient fashion. Impatient. I filed this nugget into the back portion of my mind that's still miraculously working. Then, with one deep breath, I enter the classroom. Ryota follows straight behind me, announcing my appearance with a loud crow. And the delinquent arrives at last! He pushes up his sleeves, as if getting ready for work, tossing his keys and phone on the desk, probably in an effort to unburden himself for whatever he has planned. I stop abruptly, my eyes roving frantically across the classroom, searching empty spaces. There! Huddled in the back corner of the room are 3 desolate figures, each tied firmly to their chair. One of them, with streaks of red hair shining softly in the scalloped moonlight, is Rui. For a moment, I see nothing else, my eyes fixed on her, and my throat closes. Happy? I shuffle forward. A choked whimper tears out my mouth before I can stop it. It's only after seeing her that the weight falls, that I realize how long it's been since we last spoken, that I realize how much I missed her, that I remember what life was without her. I brace my hands against the desk to keep myself from collapsing bonelessly to the ground, forcing slow and steady breaths into my lungs.
still alive, alive and before my eyes. She screams something muffled against her gag and kicks the wall. That abrupt noise stops me in my tracks. Oh, it seems the damsel in distress wants to share some lovely little words. Clearly amused, he stands to his feet and swaggers over to the chairs. In one fluid motion, he floors something from a teacher's desk and holding it high in the air. A knife, serrated and sickly, the blade glints coldly at the edges. With a jolt of panic, I leap forward. Don't! He slices down. Time freezes. The tip of the knife whisks forward and over, straight towards Rui's skull, smearing the air below it into two. And then, at the last possible moment, pulls back, neatly shredded the knots of her gag. The cloth flutters elegantly into the air, coming to rest on the lamellate below. I force a ragged breath as Ryota screeches. Wahahaha! Oh, kid, the look on your face, priceless. PRICELESS. I slump against the desk, my relief too great to allow room for anger. Instead, I stare at Rui, her eyes, her hair, the tip of her nose, letting the memorized image remind me of home. Comfort, teasing, loud Christmas dinners, and scented candles at a town festival, whispers inside jokes, elbow in the ribs, playing make-believe like two idiots. Rui! What the hell are you thinking, Yama? Why would you come here? Her voice changes octaves with every syllable, and her eyes are filled of tears. But despite her terror, she only worries about me. Wait, I thought she died. I was like, damn, I thought she died. No blood or anything. Maybe, what the fuck happened? I clear my throat and croak something incomprehensible, then try again. You're okay. Yeah, but not for long. Why didn't you just stay home? Because I couldn't leave her to die? Because I had to do something? I guess I got lazy at being lazy. She snorts and chokes a laugh, something almost phonetic, as if she didn't mean to laugh, but couldn't help it. Well, that's a surprise. She sends me a weak smile. I turn to Ryota, who only smiles lazily in response. You see, I'm a good sport, so very accommodating. You wouldn't find an executioner on my tier anywhere else in the world. Executioner? Executioner kills for purpose. Executioners are given targets by other people. Is it possible to get any information out of him? Executioner? You mean a glorified hunting dog? So I say with an attempt in a cold... Fuck. My voice hurts like a bitch right now doing his voice. So I say with an attempt in a cold, flat tone, but to my dismay, my voice crackles. This only seems to heighten Rui's glee. Hunting! Oh no! Hunting is meant for practical purposes. Hunting is for the meat, or the hide, or the money from sales. I like to think of myself as a gardener, pruding dead weight so the branches with actual promise can grow. My ID is my employer, my ego, the employee. And don't think I don't know what you're doing. Scraping for time won't bring the police any closer, boy. Don't you realize that you sound... No more provocations. It's time for school to begin its session. He abruptly pounds the handle of his knife against his desk. Fuck, where is it? Blasting my ears with a sudden sound. My heart instinctively jumps into my throat. He snickers quietly at the shock that must be evident on my face. Welcome to class.
Hate to say it, but you're now in remedial session. Suffice to say, you all screwed up in a big way, and it's my job to whip you back into shape. Hate to admit how I hate it, but someone in this snooty little elementary school has to smack the hand of the naughty ones. He suddenly whips to me, his eyes blazing fire, pointing the tip of his knife right in my chest. You! Why aren't you sitting down? I sit down, throat dry. Well, yeah, my throat's fucking dry right now. And on fire. Ryota's shoulders immediately relaxes. Good. That's exactly how I like it. Now, Ishimoto, is it? Since you came in late, you get to be my special assistant. My body grows cold. My eyes immediately turns to the knife. Ryota's reading my intentions, chuckles. Oh, don't look so scared, boy. You'll help me discipline. Sounds like a much better position to be in, doesn't it? Relief courses through me, and I hate myself for it. I've given you a little choice, boy. Listen carefully, because it's an important one. Each of us needs to discipline someone else. That's a given. This is remedial class after all. But I'll give you two fabulous options out of the goodness of my heart. Either my disciplinee will be darling. Either my disciplinee will be darling little Rui, and yours will simply be the plastic cat class skeleton. Or both of us will work on those other two students. Other students? Since when were... Oh right, the two strangers sitting by Rui. I look to the back of the room, sizing those three figures. The first is a girl, the second a boy. I don't recognize either of them. They look young, maybe in their first year. They're speechless, but even from where I sit, I can see a sweat rolling from their temples and dripping onto their necks, and their knees are clearly shaken. Both of them absolutely terrified. Innocent bystanders, pulled into the sick, dastardly game. Rui is sitting next to them. Unlike the others, she's completely still. Eerily so, like she's been turned into stone. But when I meet her gaze, I see nothing but tears of fear in her eyes. She's ungagged. It's a different circumstance. She would have volunteered immediately in order to save the other two students. She would have been brave and fierce and everything the world knows her for. The fact that she isn't saying a word tells me just how scared she is. My eyes drift back to Ryota, who only tilts his head. The knife twitches in his hand, and I suddenly piece everything together. He's a disciplinator. I'm a disciplinator. Whatever he's planning on doing, I will have to copy. If he breaks bones, so must I. If he saw through limbs, so must I. And if I don't, then all of them will be killed. Right here, right now. Because the only thing keeping him playing along is me. I could pick the class skeleton. I could pick the class skeleton. I would only have to maim plastic, stop on plastic, break plastic. Everything would be safe. But then Rui would be in the hands of Mr. Ryota, and watching Rui get hurt, I don't think I can bear it. I came here to save her, letting her die in Ryota's hands. No, there has to be a different way. But then what? The other two students? The two lives instead of one? Two bodies instead of one? Objectively, it's the worst decision in every way. Ryota knows this, because he knows me.
sometimes better than I know myself. Damn if I do. Damn if I don't. The ultimate trade-off. I can't just give up. I just can't give up Rui. I just can't. But forcing 2 other students to suffer, just who do I pick? Fuck. Fuck. Can't just pick an answer. Fuck. I'm sorry, it's just... I feel like... Fuck. Would Rui want me to, choose her better? Like, the other kids are like sweating and terrified, but Rui is ungagged, but she's not saying nothing. As if she doesn't want to say nothing. She wants me to choose the right choice, right? Fuck. I have to pick Rui. But yeah, Rui might be the love of your life, and you came here just to save her. But dude, there's 2 innocent people against 1 in a skeleton. Like a fake plastic skeleton. Fuck. Okay, I'm picking Rui. Final answer. Final answer, guys. I don't give a fuck. I'm picking Rui. Even if it means Rui will suffer, wouldn't it be better for just 1 person to face the consequences? That's what I tried to tell myself. If I pick Rui, then only a plastic skeleton will be my victim, not another human being. He can't hate me, but I need to choose this. Then I pick Rui. Surprise flickers across Ryota's face. This is clearly not the outcome he had been expecting. Neither's an I, in all honesty. Yoda. Sorry. Fine. Want to play the hero, I see. I don't. I look at Ruiz hopelessly. I don't know why. She seems penance, maybe reassurance. Either way, it's a stupid decision. She must hate me with every fiber of her being. And even if she doesn't right now, she'll end up hating me in the future. She looks at me, tearfully, but there's no sign of hatred in her eyes. She even offers a weak smile. A smile? Why? Surely it's not out of gratitude. I can't even say that it's out of pride at making the right decision. I read her gaze silently as Mr. Ryota halts her across the room. She grunts in pain and slams back, and he slams back. Fuck. She grunts in pain as he slams the back of her chair against the desk, but the tremendous smile remains. Ah, I understand. Well, I don't, because my mind's going. She isn't smiling because of the emotion she's feeling. Fuck, I picked up the wrong cup. I have 2 cups in my room, because I was drinking soda earlier. Like, one of water and the other one just an empty cup. Sorry about that. She's smiley, determined, because she knows that the last time I can see her smile. Because it's the last time I can see her smile. I freeze at the realization. A throbbing pain resounds in my chest. The last time. No, I have to believe that Shigoro will come. I have to trust that she'll make it in time. Why Rui? Why my foundation? Why of all people? No, focus, and trust. I can do this. I force a tentative smile, pushing it across my face, even as every muscle screams against it. Rui's eyes glisten in the moonlight, full of unshedded tears. Then Ryota straightens, ignorant of our little movement, and clears his throat. Now, shall I explain the rules? He strides behind the teacher's desk and pulls something out but underneath. My heart drops. 2 metal pipes, all 3 feet in length, rough and around the edges. He rolls onto me. I automatically stoop down and pick it up. We must take turns inflicting blows on our disciplinees. Good solid blows that makes a nice musical sound. If you stay sane for as long as Rui is conscious, well, you win. Everyone's a winner. I try to speak past my dry throat. What? What kind of hell is this? I just hit some plastic skeleton and stand idly by as Ryota rails on Rui. He hits her until she falls unconscious. That can't be. He'll kill her in that way. He can take his time, hitting her toes, then her foot, then her ankles, then her knees, working his way slowly as he breaks her body. Pain and torment, without any sense of relief that it's unconsciously. My hands shake uncontrollably as Ryota unceremoniously dumps a plastic skeleton at my feet. It gazes up at me with a macabre grin fixed on his face. Well, procrastinators never prosper, so might as well get to work. He raises his pipe with great melodrama, and Rui whimpers reflexively. No, wait. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have picked Rui. But Ryota's pipe is already in its terrible trajectory, soaring downwards and... Rui's face contorts with agony as Ryota's pipe slams right to her toes. Her scream rips through the air and claws at my eardrums. She wasn't supposed to suffer. I was supposed to save her. Not Rui. Anyone but Rui. There's a shrill noise in the space between my ears and my vision, pulsing angrily, tilting my sense of balance. Dude, why don't I just pick up the pipe and fucking hit Ryota? What is stopping me from hitting Ryota? What's the matter, boy? You weren't supposed to... Rui wasn't supposed to... I thought that... Suck it up, kid. This is how lovely the world is. Your play. George the Skeleton is about to have a bad time. He points casually at the plastic skeleton at my foot, completely unaffected. There's not a single shred of humanity left in him. Nothing that shrinks back at the prospect of harming another human being. Just pure malice. Nothing that I can fight against. Well, haven't got all day, or are you trying to stall? I swallow, mouth painfully dry. I lift the pipe and slam it into the skeleton without much thought. The femur breaks clearly, skittering across into two pieces. Plastic after all, not very strong. Even so, just the sight of it turns my thoughts to Rui. What effects did Ryota's blow have on her bones? How much pain is she going through? Boring! Glad it's my turn again. You really know how to kill a crowd, kid. He turns away and raises his pipe again. No! Swings it down, bicep discorded with tension. I'm not even doing like the typical, her voice. I'm just going... Stop. Make it all stop. She's not supposed to die. She's not supposed to suffer. My head shrinks with pain as I crumple to the ground, the pipe rolling out of my hands. Agony. Nothing but endless agony. Not her. Not her. Then I'm overcome with a wave of nausea. Not the sickening blow of a fever or flu, something of a deeper scale that flows to the outer edge of my body. A sensation that's slimy and incurable. Again, my mind whispers, again. There's silence from Ryota, silence from Rui, not a single peep. Even the students in the back of the room are silent. Maybe they're trying to blend in the background. Maybe they want to be forgotten. Ryota should be cackling with satisfaction. He's breaking me, and breaking me effectively. Rui, Ryota, two students, the four of them only stare at me, silently, as if frozen in time. Frozen... I drop the pipe, but it lands soundlessly, like the world is a velvet muffler. What is this? I step towards Ryota, but he doesn't budge. His eyes remain on the spot where I was. The room is still and silent and miraculously peaceful, like a scene put on pause or a stage play in the middle of an intermission. A shadow flits in the corner of my vision, immediately drawing my attention. Who's there? Nothing. Of course, nothing. There is no longer anything. Simply emptiness. Because I am helpless, and there is nothing left for me. This is out of my control. I can do nothing more. Death after death, an endless cycle of suffering, living in a world that delights in breaking innocent souls. It's better to give up and die. If I could fall to the ground right at this moment and just let myself rot, that would certainly be ideal. Or do I need to live? To lie down without a fight? Or to set my revenge on the world? To make society resent the people who raised such a monster? A tantalizing thought. This is out of my control. And now in my control. And so I wake. Time has resumed. No, it never stopped at all. Rui's eyes glazed with pain, slouched against her chair, her feet most certainly mangled beneath her school loafers. He is my first priority. I step next to Rui and reach out a hand, brushing my fingers against her cheek. Ryota doesn't move. He seems surprised at the motion. I take advantage of the moment, leaning in to press a kiss against her forehead. Sweet Rui, he deserved none of this. Yama? Be at peace. Before Ryota can move, I raise the pipe. One deafened final swing that hits dead center. Rui's neck snapped backwards at the impact. What the fuck? Then she rests quietly. I straighten, closing my eyes at the solemn motion of peace in the classroom. She deserves a moment of silence for respect. You monster! How could you? My eyes snap open at an unwelcoming interruption and turn back in the corner of the room where the two captive students are still bounded to chairs. I almost forgot about them. They're writhing against their chairs, a toxic coating of anger and terror swimming in their eyes. A truly traumatic scenario. But they are obnoxious and hardly influential, disturbing this sacred moment. I tighten my grip on the pipe and strike to the back of the room. No one moves to stop me. Of course, only one person can, and he's currently pressed to the floor in his own shock. What? It's quick work to swing the pipe twice more. I meet no resistance. Being tied to a chair probably has something to do with that. Instant silence. I sigh quickly, flickering fragment of bones and blood off the pipe, feeling for the first time its total control of the situation. So, this is true strength. How I envy it. I turn my gaze to the man standing by the teacher's desk. His face is utterly still, masked with years of long practice, but I can sense a new wing of terror beating beneath his breast. It has probably been a long time since a man like him has felt fear, almost entirely new sensation. I smile absently, a tingle of pride beneath my hollowness. This man, with a haggard face, beaten brow, shredded pupils, accustomed to chaos of the highest order, fears me. Who are you? Why don't you ask? I've seen this man calculations crumble in his eyes. Clearly, this is the situation he has not expected. You're not Yama. Nonsense. There's no one else I could possibly be. He's simply limited by his preconceived notion, the fool. I advance towards him, raising my well-worn pipe. Let's burn him. Let him burn. Let this whole world burn. It deserves nothing less. Oh, wait! He throws up a hand, trembling with adrenaline, looking for a way to escape. He is such a brave man, and yet so cowardly. I'm waiting. You want something different, don't you? I stretch my sore muscles idly, paying little heed to the knife clean tightly in the man's hands. An intelligent fellow. He had it all this time, but even though he'd drawn it, he knows better than to use it on me. What could he possibly mean? The man is still for a moment, his eyes flickering down to my open ribcage. But the knife stays at his side. Instead, he raises his unarmed hand, pointing across the room towards the broad window, which lets in a pool of light on the body that was once Rui Hayata. I know that look in your eye. We're not so different, you and I. Oh? This seems like a perfectly acceptable moment to chuckle, but not even a smile crosses my lips. Intriguing. You want bloodshed. I can help you in that. You will gain very little from killing me, as opposite to letting me help you. I tilt my head, humming quietly. A sensible offer, but... A sudden flash forward, holding my pipe with both hands. Ryota reflectively swings his knife, but his actions move like mud to my eyes. I easily catch his blade against my pipe and drive the leverage to rotating into his own chest. The knife sinks softly into his flesh. He stares at me, agape. You could not have been more wrong about that, about what I want, unfortunately for you. You... I jolt my grip, thrusting the blade deeper in. He gasped for breath with a gurgling sound, no doubt a result of blood flushing through his lungs. I release my hold, knowing the wound to be fatal, and step away. After a moment of deliberation, I decide to pick up Ryota's pipe. A nice moment of irony. I step to the classroom window, my path littered with corpses. Jiro Ryota, an unfortunate boy, and an unfortunate girl. And Rui Hayata, the only person who could possibly have stopped this metamorphosis. But none of that matters now. I draw myself to the window, regarding the peaceful sky without emotions. To see smoke clouds that reflects... To see smoke cloud, that's the sky, flecked with embers and ash, I look forward to seeing the day. The new story shall begin here. I casually flick the lock on the window and push it open with my pipe. I would have liked to crack the glass open like I cracked their skulls, but I have more important things to take care of. It's time for the city to remember. Bad end. Well, what the fuck did I do? You chose Rui. You should have chosen two people. Well, fuck me. Bad end. Son of a bitch. Let me turn this off. Where's the audio? Let me turn this off real quick. Okay. So I got the bad ending. Whoop de fucking do. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna try to get the good ending, but the fuck, Yama? Why didn't you hit fucking Ryota? Why? Alright, I'm gonna figure out how to do the true ending. But I'll leave that to the next episode. But yeah, why? Motherfucker, it's an hour. The next episode might be an hour as well. Fuck, man. Anyway. Wow. I can't really give like a true review because I got the bad ending. But either way, it's I'll give this game a 7 out of 10. But why, Gat? Because the beginning was so fucking long and so fucking tedious. Like, it was so boring. The first fucking part of the game. Was so long. But, you know what? It was okay. I liked it. I liked the game. Like, towards the middle, it started getting good. When you, like, after the amusement park, it just get better and better and better. But there's so many questions I still have. What the fuck was wrong with Masato? What the fuck, his deal is with the independent killings? What the fuck? You know what I mean? Anyway, I hope you like this game, and I'll see you tomorrow. This is farewell, and wait, before I say farewell, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and leave a comment to see whenever I post a new video. Alrighty, this is Gat saying farewell, and as always, bye bye.